I must be a sucker for cheap craft beer because today we've got another one. This is a New England IPA from Love Lane, available in home bargains. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to Home Bargains and Love Lane. This is a New England IPA. It's called Love Lane New England IPA. Now, a little bit of background. Love Lane, Liverpool brewery, but coming to light, a lot of breweries went into a bit of trouble last year. They're actually bought out or money invested into them, but kept afloat. Now, actually, I think they were bought out, and they're now owned by the owners of Home Bargains, so hence why this one appeared in Home Bargains. And I really need to know what the price is. If I edit this video and get it out after I go back there and find out the price, then I'll put the price in there. Hopefully I've done that. If I haven't, well, I reckon it'll be under £2 anyway. And this is a New England IPA. I've got to put my glasses on because it's 5%. IPAs at 5% doesn't really work for me, but there is some blurb on it and the hop. So let's read what the hops are. It says, Love Lane's Brewery's home is the heart of Liverpool's vibrant Baltic Triangle, a place full of doers, creators and makers. A hazy hoppy IPA brewed to focus on soft, fluffy flavours and big, intense, juicy aromas. Naturally hazy and unfiltered. It's got pale malt, wheat and oats. It's got Idaho 7, Citra Cryo and Mosaic. It says tropical fruit honey on the nose and a smooth and fruity finish. Palate citrus pineapple. 2.2 units, an IBU of 30. So there's lots of information. For a beer in a supermarket, it's usually cheap. Well, it is cheap. I did when I was trying to look for the price, I'll go online and find it on there. I couldn't find it online, but I found some people that were selling this for like £3.50. I wouldn't have paid that in Home Bargains, no way. But let's crack it open. Enough of the chat, more of the drinking. Crack it open, get it in a glass and see what it can be all about. Again, low expectations. The two recent ones from Aldi, one was okay, the other one was awful. So I'm sort of mixed in terms of what to expect from this. But Love Lane, they've made good beers in the past. And Home Bargains now own them, so maybe they're not squeezing them because they might still be squeezing them, but they're not squeezing them as much because they're more in control of it. And I've got to admit, beer in a glass, that looks pretty damn good, doesn't it? Hazy, lovely and light yellow, almost to that point of custard. 5% IPA, that's a pretty hazy beer. We've got a finger, compacted, pretty much ice white head. So far, so good. Let's see what the aroma's like. Actually, there's a nice bit of aroma there. Nice and fruity. Lots of citrus, as you would expect. There is that sort of pineapple in there as well. Lemons, limes, grapefruit, and a little bit of pineapple. It smells good. It looks good. Can it taste good? Here goes. Cheers, everyone. That is pretty damn good for a beer under £2. I'd almost go as far as that's the best beer I've had under £2. That is really, really good. It's light, it's citrusy. It drinks more like a pale ale, but the carbonation is fairly soft. It's not quite as zingy as you'd expect. There's a nice level. The citrus comes through. There's a bit of pineapple, but it's subtle in the pineapple flavour. It's all about lemon, really. Lemon flavours. And then it does actually start to develop. You get a little bit more of, slightly more earthiness. A little bit of, even the hops, the Idaho 7 is coming through. You get a little bit of that tea flavour that comes in. And the earthiness, which is like, they say black tea. It's always described as black tea. But it doesn't taste like tea. It tastes a bit. It's got that slight bitterness from tea, and but it's more earthy, I think. And then that rounds out to a sort of grapefruit flavour. I am amazed how good this beer is. Yeah, it's not going to blow me away like any beers I'm paying 5-6 quid for. But this was under £2. I will definitely be going back. I'll be going back tomorrow. I'll be editing this video and I'll be putting the price up. I don't think I accidentally bought it for £3. I'm sure I wouldn't have picked up a beer in Home Bargains for £3. If this is under £2, I'm going to buy more. And I'm going to hopefully buy more before this video goes out, before you lot all go and buy it. Because this is a very good beer. For the money, I'm sure it would have been under £2. Definitely under £2. But it is good. It's... It's really good. It's smooth. It's got the body's really nice. It's light, but it's soft in terms of carbonation, and there's lots of citrus flavours come through. There's some nice look at. I mean, don't talk about glaze in the glass, but there's nice lace in it. It sits well in the glass. Usually, for this money, there's always going to be a lot of cutting corners, really, and usually the mouthfeel's the first to go. Oh yeah, we won't bother with that. Next is, we won't make it that hoppy. You can get the flavours of the hops in this, so that's good. There's no artificial rubbish in it either, which is great. Smooth, cheap, brilliant. Well, I don't think much more I can say about it, apart from give you a good look at this can. It's a nice looking can, nice and bright. This is a very good supermarket beer. As I said, it's not going to be the best IPA. 5% means it's sessionable. It's up there with some of the best supermarket beers. I mean, it almost goes to say it's... Yeah, I mean, it's almost up there with I think it's up there with Northern Monk IPAs. Yeah, you're not even though it's 5%, you're not getting that sort of... You're not losing out on it being 5%. Still got the body... and still got the flavour. So it doesn't really matter it's 5%. It could be 6.5%. It doesn't really matter, but it's got as much flavour as some of those Northern Monk 6% plus beers. And I'd almost say it's as good. I don't know whether I've just got lucky with this, but this is a find. If you go to Home Bargains, I always want to call it Home and Bargains, but it's Home Bargains supermarket. You see a lot of rubbish in there, and a lot of the time you'd probably walk straight past it and go, I'm not trying any of that. But this one, I'm glad I picked up. I mean, I picked up because Love Lane I'd heard of before. Obviously, I'm from Northwest. I'm in the Northwest. I'm not from Northwest. I'm in the Northwest. So I've heard of Love Lane before. I've had beers from them before. I've had them when I've been in Liverpool, you know, on draft and stuff. So I thought it's a brewery with a little bit of, you know, people know them and not completely random. A New England IPA. I'm a sucker for a New England IPA, so I'm going to pick that up just because it's got New England IPA on it. And I'm really, really glad I did. Really good beer. Let's see how well it scores. Okay, the scores are in for Love Lane's New England IPA. It's only 5%. It's got Idaho 7. It's got Mosaic. It's got Citra in it. Citra Cryo even. Believe me, this is a good beer. Hopefully you've read See the Bursting. I'm gushing over it. Let's get them scores. See how good it is. Starting with aroma. Appearance. Flavour. Value for money, my overall experience. Tighten the scores up. I can't believe it. A beer from Home and Bargains that gets into the highly recommended. If you think that this is absolute rubbish and you can't believe that a beer under £2 from Home Bargains Supermarket deserves a rating above 80, then go and buy this beer. It's only a couple of quid. It won't cost you much. If you drink it and you think it's rubbish, then let me know in the comments. If you drink it and think it's good, go back, buy some more, then tell your friends, just in case someone ends up going and buys all the supermarket. Because this is a very good beer. It's one that you should stick in the fridge, buy a few of these, 4 of them. I don't know, it might even be £1.50. God, if it was £1.50, that is an incredible beer. I think this is better than Faith Pale Ale. I think it's better than... well, most supermarket beers, to be honest. Yeah, I'm gushing a little bit. I think I'm going to have to buy it again and see if it's any good. But please, By the time this video goes out, hopefully you've seen it, or you may have bought it already, but if you haven't and you bought it and then you've watched this video, let me know in the comments how good you think it is. For the price, for the fact that it's completely random and you go in with low expectations, this is a very good beer. There are gems to be found in supermarkets, and this is one. So let me know in the comments what you think. Please give it a thumbs up if you like the video. If you're not a subscriber because you've stumbled upon this beer and you thought, I've got to find out if anyone else thinks it's great, then please hit the subscribe, because we do lots of beers on here. We go in deep in the supermarkets. You know, we don't just go to the normal ones. We go deep, deep. And until the next one, I'm exhausted. I'm going to drink this. I'm going to rush to Home Bargains when I can and buy some more. And until then, you know what you do. Drink good craft beer and keep on rocking.